So now that we have pretty much everything set up to where we have our procedural layers, we have our upper body layer and all that stuff, and those being linked and unlinked, we are going to want to go ahead and through the shooter pawn component, set and clear the held actor kind of as needed. So likewise, when we do that, we are also going to automatically just have it go ahead and link. Now this will be done in the animation blueprint. I mean, realistically, we could do it in here as well, but we're going to link the procedural layer to the armed layer. Now, we don't have any need to have a unarmed state because in our case, we are always going to have a firearm in hand. So to begin, what we want to do is in the on unequip complete, we are basically going to clear and set the held actor. Now we're going to do this on the server, and that means we also need access to the shooter pawn component. So if we go to the equipment component.h, you will see where we made our own get pawn mesh function and variable. We want to do the exact same thing, but for the shooter pawn component. So u skg shooter pawn component. Let's just forward declare it. And we'll just name it shooter pawn component. Likewise, instead of get pawn mesh, it is going to be get shooter pawn component, which returns a USKG shooter pawn component. So let's go ahead and make that definition. And basically, if the shooter pawn component is invalid, we want to set the shooter pawn component. And likewise, at the end, we want to return it. Same thing we're doing here. So get owner, find component by class, not by tag or anything, because we're only going to have one of these on our pawn. And that's going to be a USKG shooter pawn component. And likewise, it wants us to go ahead and include it. Not sure why movie track scene is included, but here we are, and it actually included it in the correct section for once. So we should now be able to access this component. With that said, let's go down to our on unequip complete and go to where we unequip the unequipping actor. So here we want to do a check. So if has authority. Actually, we don't have a has authority function. Now that I'm thinking about it, we don't really need to worry about it. So for example, if I do get shooter pawn component and search for, say, clear held actor, if we look at it, the first thing that's checked is if we even have authority. So we can just directly call clear held actor. Likewise, when we go ahead and set the held actor, we can do the exact same thing for set held actor and just pass in the current held actor because it also checks for authority, and if the actor we're passing in is valid, we don't need to do any additional checks ourselves. So we're going to leave these two lines here and go ahead, compile, and launch. Okay, once we are back inside the editor, let's go ahead and go to our core animation and load up our AnimBP. So basically, we want to set this as a default, value essentially. So we are using the, where is it? The SKGSF procedurals layer. However, we cannot just set it, directly in here. We need to set it through the shooter pawn component. Now, the reason for this is because the shooter pawn component reads through this anim instance and basically tells it to do stuff and all that without getting into specifics. So what we can do is in the event graph, because we know that this AnimBP is set up, everything's good to go, we can go ahead and run the begin play. Then off of that, we want to get the owning actor and grab the shooter pawn component from it. Once we have the shooter pawn component, we can go ahead and search for link, and you will see we have link anim layer class and link anim layer class by instance. We want to do it by instance because we are currently on the anim instance that we want to link to. So anim instance is going to be self. So let's get that plugged in like so. And then for the class, that is simply going to be the SKGSF procedurals, like so. So once we have that, we can go ahead and hit play, and we'll have our bar equipped, like so. And the only thing we need to do now is just set up the procedurals. So we should be able to click the BAR and scroll down to find the data asset right here. So DA bar, we can stop play, and we're just going to go to the movement sway, and we'll just set this all to the example stuff for now. So everything down from the movement sway to the recoil, and I guess in our case, we'll also do the firearm collision for, why not? So now that we have that, let's give it a quick try. And as you can see, it's a little bit dark. I should be able to walk through this. You can see we have procedural animation happening. So our movement sway, our rotation lag. Okay, I can't jump, so that doesn't help. But, that kind of stuff. That also means we'll have recoil. That'll be good to go. And all of that. We don't have firearm collision as of yet. That'll be something that we have to do separately. But that's just pretty much the point that I wanted to go ahead and get us at. So that way we can pretty much be good to go and just focus on the data assets part of it. So the only thing that really needs to be done is going to be, from here anyways, is going to be the offhand IK. Because as you can see, currently the left hand is attached to the root, and we need to resolve that. Now this is going to be a modification to the actual anim layer, and we are going to be, in essence, removing some parts because we're not going to use the offhand IK system for this because we're not going to have any forward grip attachments or anything like that. So this will also optimize it a little bit too because there's going to be less nodes overall running. So to begin, let's go ahead and go to this procedural's anim layer. And we want to go to the offhand IK section. So this guy right here. And basically, we can bypass this, entirely. So we're just going to, at least in my case, I'm going to just kind of move it out of the way. And we have the procedural aiming prerequisite set. We want to use let's just copy it, the procedural's aiming prerequisite set, and plug that into here instead of offhand IK done. So this will completely bypass the offhand IK. So if I press play now, as you can see, we have the hand, or the left hand rather, where we want, which is right on, well, quite literally the animation. So everything there is good to go. So next up, let's see if we have anything else. So we have the third person aiming offset. We don't care about that. We are not going to be using poses or the base pose offset because we have our animations being properly set up. So we can actually remove these. So we'll just move them down and bypass. We're going to be using movement sway and all of these, except we are not going to use the custom curve. So we can just move that over and bypass that. Now the custom curve would be for kind of miscellaneous stuff. I don't really know how to describe it because it's kind of up to you to use it however you want. But basically you can play your own custom curve kind of whenever you feel like. So we have that. We have our firearm collision, which I do want to have in this, and our aiming montage related stuff. So that is pretty much it. So we are going to use this because that'll be useful in the case of aiming with rifles. So that way for the remote view, the firearm doesn't go basically to the center of the head. Instead, it can be offset however we want. And likewise, we can also use this as well if we feel the need. So basically, when you aim, this will kind of tilt the head, so to speak. Well, not so to speak. It will tilt the head. Okay, so now that all that is out of the way, we can go ahead and close this stuff down because we are pretty much good to go. So let's head back to our main module. We can go to our pawn because at some point I want to go ahead and kind of get rid of this. So basically the spawning of, kind of whatever we're setting. So I actually do want to switch this over to the 1911. So let's swap that from the bar to the 1911 just to make sure. And we should still be good to go like so. So we have the proper grip and everything like that is working. So that is going to be all for this video, and I will see you in the next one. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can also gain early access to this entire series.